This is The Extra Point, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast, sponsored by your Phoenix Suns.
All right, let's talk local sports. You can watch us every night right here on Arizona's Family Television, 1035, The Extra Point television show, a new show. This is the very first one. We huddle up as a sports team, break the huddle. It's called The Group Chat. Everybody likes a group chat at work. This is our group chat. So Nick King, Julia Lopez.
I mute a lot of group chats, but
that's a good, because you're
this
always
one
editing.
we won't mute.
You're always like molding and shaping. What do you have coming up for us the next couple weeks here? I haven't seen you as much. I played golf with you one time and you look very tan. Tease the people here.
Yeah, well, I do love golf, and Arizona and the Valley specifically is so rich in beauty on the golf courses. And while most people actually don't like to play during the summer because it's too hot, that's when I thrive. Courses get cheap, and I'm good in the sun. I'll play in the afternoon, 110 out. Huh. It's great. It's great. And I just love the beauty.
Yes.
I'm not as worried about the tan, but I love being outside and seeing the beauty. And so we're working on a series that I'm calling the Dream 18, and it's my 18 favorite holes in the Valley, but very specific, like the best first hole, the best second hole, best third hole. So one hole from 18 different public courses.
I can't wait for this. It's going to be so fun.
Should be cool.
I can't wait for that. And then when Julia Lopez finally shows us the video of her scoring the game-winning goal to win the state championship in high school. Have you found that tape yet?
No, I need to. I need to ask, I think my dad might have it somewhere. He has to. Someone has to have it somewhere.
And your dad, a former sportscaster?
Yeah.
Maybe he could come in and do the highlights some night on
We
television.
should get him in here for sure.
We should. Okay. All right. That's another segment. That's something to look forward to in the TV show.
Yeah.
But we have a lot to talk to. You guys have hit the streets. You've been in the locker rooms. We've been talking to people. Let's start. I mean, I guess we could start with the Diamondbacks. I mean, they're not exactly what I want to talk about, but I do feel like it's what everybody's talking about. So you lose 2 or 3 of the Nationals. You win on Sunday. Julia, let's start with you. You were in the clubhouse. Vibe check.
Well, the Corbin Burnes news absolutely killed the win that they got to get out of that 4-game skid. Just when he came off the mound after having such an incredible outing, he was really feeling it. You could just tell, he immediately came out with 3 consecutive strikeouts in the first, and he was just you could just tell he was rolling. And then he, throws one to CJ Abrams, gives up a single, and then he calls over the trainer and says, hey, come over here. Something doesn't feel right. And it's elbow discomfort. That's whenever you hear elbow, that's never a good sign. That's never a good thing. But he underwent an MRI today. We don't know those results just yet.
We were waiting. And if tune into the Extra Point television show tonight at 10:35 when we get an update. The Diamondbacks are going out on the road now. But it's just big picture. This team's snake bit. It's just another thing. I mean, let's just list them real quick. 4 home runs in a game, they lose. Score 10 runs in an inning, they lose. Have y'all ever seen anything like this? I
think it's over. I think if Corbin Burnes...
Hold on, what is it? You're on time of death in May?
Wow.
Or June. What is today? June 2nd, time of death, 7:10. Nick King is calling it.
It was whatever time that Corbin Burnes walked off the mound yesterday. If he's fine, there's time. But if he's out for a significant amount of time, which I'm going to consider even a month to be a significant amount of time, I think it's over. I mean, they gave up how many runs? Was it 8 or 9 before they got an out on Saturday against the Nationals?
With Brandon Pfaadt, by the way.
I mean, was that the low point? During COVID,
yes.
That's the low point that I've seen.
You win the game yesterday.
There was an 11-game losing streak one time and a balk off. That was pretty bad, and that was how they lost a game. As Merlin Vasquez balked some with the bases loaded. Okay, that was bad. I think this is worse.
They didn't get a hit after the first inning yesterday. Even when they won the game, they didn't do anything offensively after the first inning. To lose 4 of 6 at home against the Pirates and Nationals, I mean, I think they're pressing. I think everyone feels it in that locker room, and I don't know how they turn it around. Both the starting pitching and the bullpen is among the worst in the majors.
Which, did we have that on our bingo card to start the season? I mean, go back to spring training. If we go pull one of your reports, what are we saying? This could be the strongest bullpen in baseball.
Strongest bullpen, strongest starting pitching.
Yes. We should have known, though, because it was the same thing as last year. Believed the same things last year, and it was the same issue.
Right. But then like the offense, like we didn't think the offense would be good, and the offense is good. And then Jock Peterson and Christian Walker leave. If you want to see our discussion on Christian Walker and his impact in the clubhouse and on the field, you can go back to a previous version of the Extra Point where we discuss leadership. The Diamondbacks have a leadership problem. I've thought a little more about that. And I do think baseball more than anything, just because it's every day and you get sick of people really fast. And if you don't like coming in or there's something going on, and I don't even know. I mean, we're not in there, but something's up where this team, their head isn't in the game. I mean, Ketel Marte dropping the ball on Friday night. You're like, dude, you're hosing Merrill Kelly here. And it's not like he meant to do it. You could just, look on his face. It's like, he couldn't even believe he did it. But there is some bad mojo. Losing is a disease. The line from The Natural that takes over and destroys baseball teams. Do you think this team's destroyed? Nick does. Nick's already on to Cardinal training camp and bowl season.
I just
bowl
think,
season.
I don't know. I think out of all the sports, like baseball is like one of those ones where they can just like start winning games. I feel like baseball is one of those like that they can just like turn it around. Something just like snaps within them, and then they're like, okay, like they just start just becoming like the team that we thought that they could be. I am not ruling them out just yet.
All right. Well,
that is true. Like we watched it. They were the worst team in baseball in July and the beginning of August in 2023, and then it clicked into focus and they end up in the World Series.
Like 4 straight to end the season.
That was brutal.
Right.
You're totally right, though. It is the one sport that it's not like the Suns. It's not like when we were waiting for them to turn it around. That was a little bit less believable. This you could fathom.
Right. And they go to Atlanta and Cincinnati this week, and they open the week 5 games back of the wild card. So just, tread water. Hopefully Corbin Burnes gets back. Hopefully AJ Puck gets back. Hopefully you can play defense, which that is, I want them out there taking infield.
They need a
practice.
Walk-off or two, which obviously isn't happening on the road, but like they need something special to go in their way to get those, to get that mojo, to get those vibes back.
I feel bad for Ryan Nelson though, because remember after his amazing outing, and then they were thinking about putting him back into the bullpen rather than earning that, that starting spot. Like that doesn't make sense.
I'm sure they've told him, look, Gallen's probably going to leave. The spot is yours. We need you to we don't have another option. We can't put Eduardo Rodriguez in the bullpen. Like there's just that would, it would be like putting Jordan Montgomery in the bullpen and be like, why am I down here? It's like he needs to pitch his way out of it, and getting Eduardo Rodriguez going could get this team going. So, I don't know if he can hit walk-offs.
So Nelly was told Friday that he was going back to the bullpen, and now presuming that Burnes is out for a little bit of time, they're probably going to pull him back into the rotation. He's just getting pushed and pulled for the last couple of months. No clear role.
Since spring training.
Impressive how he's handled it all.
Yes, yes, and a great name. Great baseball name. Okay, let's talk about something more fun. The Mercury are fun.
They are fun.
Okay, 1 to 10 fun meter. I'm going to put the Mercury 8.5. Where would you put them?
I'd say 8.
Yeah.
I'd give him an 8 for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to give him an 8 as well.
Because I miss Natasha Cloud. That's why.
Yes. But last year was like, she kind of summed up the personality of the team. It was a little crazy. It was super interesting.
So interesting.
But it just was like at the end of the game, remember when they were trying to beat the Fever, and she and Sophie got mixed up and they kicked the ball out of bounds. Like it was just like that game was interesting. They didn't win, but you're talking about a win on Sunday against the Sparks. They lost to the Lynx, but they did not have 2 of the big 3 on Friday. And I think if you put Alyssa Thomas on the floor, the way she spaces everything and the 3-point shooters they've collected from all over the world.
Yeah.
I think this team could make a serious run at a championship this year. And I have a WNBA fantasy team. I'm not excited. Yes.
I keep kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop here with this team, because it's unbelievable what they're doing. They're 5-2. The only teams that are better than them at the moment are the 2 that played in the finals last year. They haven't had Kalia Copper for a game. They haven't had Alyssa Thomas for the last 2. Like when we did our preview show, I was like, they've got 3 of the best 10 to 12 players in the W. Really worried about their depth, because you'd never heard, or at least you'd forgotten about most of the rest of the players because they hadn't played college. They hadn't played in the States.
I hadn't been scouting the Italian league. I didn't know who could shoot. They had been.
It was an unbelievable job by Nick Uren.
Right.
Like if this continues, they're playing they're relying on a bunch of rookies, 4 of them really, who are all between the age of 24 and 29. 2 of them are 29-year-olds that have just been playing overseas since they graduated from college.
A 29-year-old rookie.
Yeah. Wow. And she has been fantastic.
Yeah.
She started every game. She's been awesome. They come back from 18 down on the road yesterday without 2 Olympians playing. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
It shouldn't be happening.
Well, and they almost beat the Lynx on Friday night, making 3 threes. Were they 3 of 26? I think the number was.
Yeah. And I think that's an anomaly because almost every other game, they've shot the ball really well.
Yeah.
That's what they have. They've collected shooters, as you said. And so the 8 on the fun meter for me is like just giving room for what it looks like when Kalia Copper eventually is healthy too.
That'll be awesome.
I mean, there's so much space on the floor. That's what excites me. Can y'all help me with something, by the way? I can't say the Golden State's team name, and I try.
Valkyries.
I still can't say it, even though you said it. There's something with the L and the K and the Y. It's like not in my like Texas dads from Worcester, Massachusetts vocab. It just doesn't roll off the tongue.
Valk.
Rees.
Valkyries.
Ease or Rees?
I think it's just how you say the middle part.
It's kind of cool. Like, I'd never heard that word before. So the WNBA is growing. Caitlin Clark is out, but I still find myself watching a lot of the WNBA. Same? Do we feel like the, sports world's the same? Like, people are betting to see if Angel Reese is going to make her first shot, which is a little mean, but it's also like, I'm a big believer in there's no such thing as bad publicity. I think people are watching the WNBA, and I think people this summer, if the Diamondbacks don't play well, are going to be like, dude, I'm going to go check out a Mercury game. This team's awesome.
They're so fun, especially like in person. When you're over there at PHX Arena, it is so much fun to watch, and like the fan base is insane. X Factor is bringing it every night.
Did you do the what's that thing called? The train? Do they do that?
I haven't seen them do it yet this year.
If we do, we need John Gustafson, our sports photographer, to do that.
I've seen it. It happened.
Did it happen Friday?
No, with the Sparks when they were here. I was actually there for fun.
Oh, okay. Did you think about jumping? Like, could you jump in?
No, there's no way.
How does it work?
I don't know.
I mean, I saw it back in the day, and I thought that'd be a really fun story.
Until someone like twists an ankle.
If I twist an ankle, I can sit in chairs all day. I'm fine. Yeah. But I mean, like, fans just jump in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I feel like that's a security nightmare, but it's a good video.
But yeah, you should see the security guards just surrounding like the benches. Exactly.
Right. All right. So Mercury are fun. Suns season. I was just talking with Kellen Olson on another version of the Extra Point podcast about the coaching candidates, and we were reliving the whole, they're good, and then everybody's hurt, and then will they turn it around, and will they trade for Jimmy Butler, and no, they're going to trade KD. This is my Kellen Olson impression, by the way, and just all of the ups and downs in the Suns season, and we just kind of got to the end of it and was like, what did we just see? What do we make of what they should do with one of these coaching candidates? So you have 2 Cavalier assistant coaches that are reportedly, we have not yet gotten this confirmed, but we would believe it to be true. The last 2 candidates for the Suns coaching job, Johnny Bryant and Jordan Ott. Let's start with Ott, Michigan State connection. Does that surprise you?
No, it's comical. He might be a great coach. And Mark, I don't think you and I have seen eye to eye on this. Because I think that you love or you appreciate this has worked at Michigan State. So why wouldn't you want people out of that program in your basketball world? I think it becomes too much at a certain point when it's just Sparty Southwest here in the desert. Now, both of those guys, I'm not going to pretend to know anything about their coaching abilities or acumen. I'm sure that they are great candidates, but it is hilarious that both of them are from the Cavs, which, the owner, Dan Gilbert, is Matt Ishbia's chief rival in the world.
Do you think that's by design? Like, I mean, obviously these guys wouldn't be in this situation, but how much do you think Ishbia right now is being like, I'm pillaging your staff, man?
Wouldn't shock me.
Like, this is like pro wrestling. The 2 owners that hate each other. He just calls him that guy in Phoenix. Dan Gilbert just calls Ishbia that.
Yeah. I liked when it was when all the names were out. I was pretty interested in Chris Quinn from the Miami Heat. And so I'm a little bit disappointed that he's not on this list. Beyond that, I just think it's funny. and not surprising at all that there's a Michigan State guy that came out of it.
And I mean, I'm ready to put like Tom Izzo with like Dr. James Naismith. Is he a Dr. James Naismith? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Fog Allen. And I think Izzo is, to me, basketball excellence. And maybe there's like a arrogance about it if you're in the Michigan State program, but maybe there's also like a Navy SEAL thing. Like you worked for Tom Izzo. You are like a basketball master, and only people that have been through that know what they're looking for. So that's why I could see Michigan State. I mean, it's not like he worked there for forever. He spent some time there. So I could see that being like, this guy knows what we're looking for. He knows how to implement it, and he knows how to take the genius of Tom Izzo. And I do think Tom Izzo is one of the greatest coaches of all time, and we'll implement that here. But Julia, I'll ask you, will the fan base let him?
I don't know. I haven't done too much research on these two head coaches or these assistant coaches, so I can't really chime in here, honestly.
Right. Well, I mean, Johnny Bryant and Jordan Ott, I mean, if you were to call me up and say, can you do something in the Suns assistant coaching staff? I don't think I'd be able to really, wax poetic very long. But, both guys have been around the NBA, and they're on. I mean, the Cavs, would you say the Cavs are a model franchise right now in the NBA? Kenny Atkinson was actually an assistant here.
Oh, they've done great things. I mean, they were obviously a massive disappointment the way they flamed out in the second round, but what that team's become since the last time that LeBron left is real impressive. When the Suns played them during the regular season, it was like, oh, this is beautiful basketball, the way this team plays.
Right. And I think flaming out, I would say that that's too strong of a description, because I think Indiana is that good. I think Indiana might win. You think they're going to beat?
I think it was flaming out because of the way they got destroyed by Indiana.
Right. I think Indiana destroys people, though. I think they're like perfectly put together. We could get into that on another podcast. Yeah. The Indiana, brought to you by the Phoenix Suns, the Indiana Pacers podcast. Yeah. Who do you think wins the NBA Finals and why?
I think the Thunder win in 5.
J-Lo?
I would say I'll go Pacers.
Who's better assistant coaches? The Pacers or the Thunder? Okay. Moving on. Yeah, I think Pacers too. I'm gonna even though we have the two local guys, Lou Dort and J-Dub on the Thunder, that I'm rooting for the Thunder. It's a nice story. Putting it back together, kind of like LeBron leaving Cleveland and KD leaving.
And they're going to be scary.
Yeah.
They're going to be around.
We'll see if the Suns can rebuild like those two teams. All right. Topic number 4, Arizona Cardinals back on the field. It's June. Optimism appears to be high. Has it ever not been high in June? I don't think there's ever been a time we've walked in and been like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. It's always like, I could see how they could get to the playoffs.
In 2018, was the optimism level high?
Was that the post Arians?
That was heading into, Rosen's rookie year.
No, there's a ton of optimism about Rosen. But before that, we had, so Carson Palmer left. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting Sam, the Oklahoma quarterback, and Mike Gleason, Sam Bradford and Mike Gleason. And you walked into the weight room and you saw those two guys and you're like, where did all the guys go? Because you had Bradford, you had Gleason, you had Arians was gone. You just had like Rashad Johnson, like all the guys you talked to. There just wasn't anybody to talk to. There wasn't any juice. When we see the Cardinals, I feel the juice. But a lot of that's from Gannon. Could this team this team needs to be in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so, especially with the defense that they built. Yeah. The guys that they brought in. I'm excited to see Cody Simon and the leadership that he brings, just being a rookie himself. So I think that's going to be such an exciting player to have there. And I want to see Darius Robinson really come into his own.
Boy.
Yeah. Like I just would, he's just so
chiseled.
Yeah.
He's probably doing push-ups right now. Right.
Yeah. Like there's just so I think he hasn't even touched or scratched the surface of what
did he
do.
Flash to you at the end of the year? Like that game in LA where you like, okay, we can see it. You know how you can kind of see it with the rookies. Could you see it? You were there, right?
Yeah. I think that naturally talent is there, but just making the jump from college to NFL and him sitting out so many games prior to when he got injured and then going through personal issues. But I really think he's going to make a huge jump his second year.
All right. Walter Nolan was not seen practicing with the team last week. Jonathan Gannon talked before the workout. So this is on Tuesday. We're going to get over there and talk to him. I'm not that. Is that a concern? I mean, the rookie's not out there the first day working to the side, or is that like, is there alarm bells?
Uh-oh.
You look concerned.
Yeah, what's that?
No, it's late
and
May.
really tan.
No, not in late May. Nothing particularly concerns me. I mean, honestly, it's like the only thing that I can remember being a concern covering off-season stuff was like when Kyler didn't show up, and that was early in his career when he'd spend the summer in Texas or anywhere but Arizona, and that's not really the case anymore. And he's a different guy. He's a different leader. And they've got a bunch of leaders now. And yes, it's like they have to make the playoffs.
I think that's good for Kyler, because I think Kyler has taken major steps forward being a leader, but not having it all have to be on him. And I think that was a lot to put on him and Cliff. And I don't think Kyler had the type of leadership skills that he has now. I would love, I don't know if we're ever going to hear, who did you talk to? Because the way he bounced around the field, he's always smiling. There's an energy coming off of him that we did not see the first 2 years when he looked grouchier and grouchier as the season went along.
And I think that has to do with him getting injured. I really think just him, getting injured, stepping away from the game and seeing when it's all taken away, how are you going to react, right? Like when you're in like the lowest of lows, how are you going to push forward? And I think that was a blessing in disguise for him.
Interesting.
He's been humbled quite a bit between the injury and the disappointments.
I do think if he does not get this team to the playoffs this year, that there is going to be a change. But hopefully that's not the case, because we want some playoff football around here. Because we're trending in the wrong direction. Kellen Olson did say on the other podcast today, the moment that Quinn Ewers changed the play and threw the pass in the Peach Bowl,
nothing good has happened.
No, it hasn't. Is that true? Like he's like, we have to look at like astrological charts and see if there's something lined up. Like we kind of feel like we've been under a dark cloud, except for the Mercury here.
Yeah, except for the Mercury.
Right. Thank you, Mercury, for setting our expectations high. Real quick, what do we want to learn about the Cardinals before training camp? Anything?
Honestly, I can't think of anything at this point. Like, get me to training camp.
All right, I'll just go over there tomorrow and talk. Let's try to figure out. Let's regurgitate what they say. No, I'm interested to just feel the energy again. I'm interested to see Will Johnson out on the field, how he's moving around. He's kind of been away from us. Michigan, he's huge, by the way, like a huge corner. That excites me.
I'm excited to see him too.
Yeah. You got Denzel Burke from Ohio State, and I think you're gonna have to get like Ohio State Buckeye stickers to put on Cardinal helmets. There's so many Buckeyes. All right. Other sports this weekend. College baseball. ASU bows out. Producer Joe Ferris was upset that they kept wearing their black jerseys. They were wearing it to stay hot. They didn't. Yeah. Wear some Sun Devil maroon and gold.
Those black jerseys are not a good look.
No, you can't tell who they are on TV. But U of A moves on. And they're set up. Have y'all seen the banana thing? Do we know what that is?
I've seen it. I don't know what it is. One of those, college baseball and softball. They love doing the quirky things for interviews and for anything happening in the dugout.
But they never want to say why either.
Right. It's like one inside joke that kind of builds. People in the dugout probably don't know what it means.
Arizona freaking pounded the ball.
Yeah.
They had like 14 home runs in their last 2 games in Eugene over the weekend.
Yeah. That's something to watch, seeing if the Wildcats can make a run at Omaha. Scotty Scheffler wins again. Nick, you have you're kind of our golf expert here. So let's put Scotty Scheffler into perspective, the former Phoenix Open champ. All-time great. Top 10? Top 15?
Not yet, but there's like it would be fairly surprising, if not stunning at this point, if he doesn't work his way there. He's in the midst of a run that hasn't been seen since Tiger Woods. Right. And it's not Tiger levels because nothing is, but he's won 3 tournaments this year and they're all by at least 4 shots. When he gets a 54-hole lead, I was watching on Saturday and a couple holes to play. Scotty was 1 or 2 behind Ben Griffin and he finishes strong, and I think Griffin bogeyed the last, and all of a sudden Scotty's in the lead, and forget it.
But will this be seen through the lenses the live guys aren't playing?
I don't think so. There's a little bit of that, but there's only, to me, it's like at this point, it's basically Bryson and Rahm. I might be forgetting someone, but everyone else who went to live is older, past their prime.
And richer.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But, it's like Phil, a bunch of the European guys like Poulter and Westwood, and Brooks Koepka has not been good in several years. Dustin Johnson, it's been a minute since he's done anything.
They've lost their mojo. It's like they can't do the four rounds, the 3 rounds and live, or they're just they lost their stamina. They're kind of little fat, dumb, and happy.
Yeah. But no, I don't think that Scotty's run gets much of an asterisk here, because there's just not that many guys that would be having an impact on a weekly basis on the PGA Tour anyway. And the events that he's winning are almost all like cream of the crop stuff.
Yeah. Hook 'em. Okay, so NBA Finals on the agenda. You say Pacers.
Thunder.
Okay. And I say Pacers. So we win 2-1.
Halliburton.
Yeah. The Suns could have had him. So they drafted Jalen Smith. Yes.
Yikes.
Yeah. How would life? That's another podcast for another day. Dodgers beat the Yankees. Is that a World Series preview? I mean, it was so fun to see on Friday that Judge and Ohtani hit home runs in the same inning. I mean, I feel like baseball kind of needs this. Okay, every kid's playing the show now that's my kid's age.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, junior high, first year of high school. I feel like baseball, it's like the show is kind of, and hitting home runs, kids can do it. Even kids that don't play baseball are playing the show. And I feel like if you get these two guys into the World Series again, baseball can grow. We all like baseball, but is baseball growing?
I think it's in a better place than it has been. I'm a lot more interested than I was 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Is that because you're just getting old and it's just kind of slow and fun to just watch?
There's a little bit of it, like living in a baseball market and covering a team, certainly.
Yeah. If I was running jiu-jitsu, I would not. I totally get, like, I do jiu-jitsu. I'm really like, I don't want to sit and watch baseball for 4 hours. I get that.
Yeah. Pitch clock, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
That changed a lot for me.
Are the Rockies relevant though? And you have some connections in Denver. Didn't you start there? I mean, what, 9 wins?
Now they have 10.
10. Should they cancel the season? Like, what are they saying in Denver right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, they do call Coors Field the best bar in Denver.
Fair enough.
So it has like an awesome, view and great environment.
What are the prices?
It's actually, they fill it up. I think still like 30,000. I think they still get it just because it's such a cool atmosphere. Yeah. But I think the owners are just relying on that. Like, people are still going to come, but
come see
for
Ohtani.
What? Yeah, right. The other team. Obviously.
Right. That's what the Astros did for years. Come see the Astrodome and come see the Dodgers.
Yep.
It's cool that the Mile High line and the up top bar. Chase Field needs to do that. Maybe that'll be part of the renovations. Where would you put a rooftop bar at Chase Field? Like right field? Behind? Would you put it behind?
Is it in the line of the retractable roof or no?
Well, you would like wipe out part of the upper deck. And you kind of have one with that, like,
Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers has something out in left field that looks out on the field.
That's pretty cool. Have y'all bought tickets?
There.
So that's I've done that before. It used to be TGI Fridays. It's fun.
Good vantage point.
Yeah, it's great. And you just sit at your table and like order and watch the game.
Have you ever sat in the pool?
I've been pushed in the pool live on the air, but I've not sat. I think I sat in the pool after I was pushed in the pool. Yeah.
But you didn't take the family to a game and sit in the pool?
No. How much does the pool cost? Do we know? Should we do that? Should we do like Arizona's family? Like, should we have like a, if you donate to our cause, you can hang out with us at the pool? I don't know.
We're going to raise like $19.
Right? Who wants to hang out with you guys? All right. Let's get out of here with, some personal news. What are your pets doing? How's McFly? What's your dog's name again, Julia?
Jack.
And he's new?
Yeah. Adopted him.
Is he sleeping through the night?
Yeah. No, he's a fantastic dog. He's a Queensland healer. Super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. And Nick's actually taken care of him a couple times.
Really?
I have.
Yeah.
Dog sitter.
Does Nick have different names does he call McFly like McFly all the time, or does he have like a nickname for him too?
No, McFly always.
Yeah.
Does Jack like the rain?
Not really, no.
Does Roscoe?
No. It's like repellent. I tried to take him on a walk last night. I literally took him like maybe 2 houses down and he started pulling to go back. And then we do a thing with April where she'll be in the yard and she'll be like, "You want a treat?" And then like we make sure there's no traffic coming, and he like does a dead sprint because the doctor, the vet said that he needed to lose some weight, so we thought sprints would be good. So he sprints down the street, and it's really funny. I mean, he's really fast, and I try to sprint with him, and I can't because I'm 47 and just had eye surgery. But he just starts sprinting back to the house because he's like, "Dude, you didn't tell me this was going to be raining. This is ridiculous."
Yeah.
But he wanted to walk. He was like, when your dogs follow you around when they want to walk.
McFly just kind of hangs out at the door.
Just like, this will open.
But yesterday when the door opened and he saw there was rain, he just looked up like, "I'm not doing that.
No.
I'll wait 12 hours to go to the bathroom. That's fine. I'm not getting wet."
Jack will walk in the rain.
Yeah, but like he doesn't like it though. Like,
why don't dogs like the rain? Well, thunder scares them. Lightning scares them. The tree falling in my pool this weekend definitely scared Roscoe.
I had a policy when I was in college that was modeled after Newman, the great Seinfeld character.
Yeah.
To not go to class if it was raining because Newman didn't work if it rained. Didn't deliver the mail.
And you still graduated. Got a job in a major television market. I needed every class I could get. Most recent TV show you just binged?
Ooh, The Last of Us and Severance.
And?
Is there another one?
No, I'm just your reaction to them.
And then You. I'm in the middle of You, which is really good.
I got to do some research. I have no questions to ask.
Watch The Last of Us. It was a pretty severe drop off from season 1. In my opinion.
I'm going on a trip to Cooperstown, New York. So should I binge watch those on the plane?
Not You, probably.
We're doing, what are we doing? We're doing Friends and Neighbors, John Hamm, Neighbors. What is it?
Yeah, I think it's
Friends and Neighbors.
Yeah.
What's the...
I haven't watched it.
I keep forgetting. There are better shows on Apple Plus that I watched over the winter that I really loved. One of them is Slow Horses, which is set in London, and Gary Oldman leads a troupe of failed spies. It is hilarious and entertaining. And then I constantly forget the name of the show that is like Harrison Ford and Jason Segel and Jessica Williams.
Shrinking.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's
We're in the middle of
That
that too.
show's so good.
It's so good and witty and funny.
Stresses me out though.
All the feels.
Yeah.
Yes. All the emotions are in that.
Shrinking. All right. Best pizza in Arizona.
Pizzeria Bianco.
What was yours?
It's between Spinata's or Chibo, but they're totally different.
Right. I'd say all three. I mean, they're all three different. I would have to pick Spinato's, but just because it's close, and Pizzeria Bianco is a treat, but I go to Spinato's all the time. I like crave it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in the sauce.
The sauce. It's the sauce.
Yeah. All right. And celebrities you share a birthday with?
Oh, I don't know. I know
No idea.
James Conner's 2 days off from me. He's like a Cinco de Mayo baby.
When's your May
3rd.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't buy into celebrating birthdays, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just think everyone has one. It's not that important.
It is when you're 8 at the roller rink.
Well, I'm not that.
Okay. Michael Jordan, and that's a good place to stop.
There you go.
Yes, I win. Yeah. All right. So a lot to look forward to the coming week. We're going to be back here every week talking about the sports in group chat. So,
and our dogs.
And our dogs. Yes. Dog chat. And the Extra Point Podcast is a production of 3TV, CBS5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.